I was watching your movie yesterday. I spent the afternoon with you. So here we go.
All right.
You're given a lot to do in this movie. Not that the other movies you do a lot too, but you know what I mean. You got a lot of stuff you got to go through this movie. It's had to be at least very interesting, if nothing else.
Yeah, it was. Well, the really nice thing about it is, as an actor, that's kind of what you look for. You know, you want to play a part where you get to do a lot of different stuff. You get to change. You get to go through a range of emotions and all that stuff. And this was a great part for that. And I'm real proud of this movie.
But you're a nice guy in everything I've ever been able to see in my dealings with you. Was it a little hard playing the jerk? I was almost uncomfortable watching you be so mean.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is it's kind of fun because, you get to do that, but it's not real. You know what I mean? There's no consequence to it. You're not really doing it. You're just trying to see how well you can play it, and that's kind of fun. I really don't like meanness and that sort of thing in real life. That's not kind of who I am, but I guess maybe it's a way of getting it out or whatever when you play it. But one of the other things is that, every time as an actor you go into a scene, you're kind of thinking about like how well, you always feel like you're auditioning. And to me, I felt like, okay, I'll get the chance to show some real range because I can start off being like this kind of a jerk in the beginning and really change and I can therefore demonstrate some range as an actor.
Well, let's talk about the jerk part for a minute. When you do have, we all have situations where we'd love to blow off like you did in the movie, which I thought was great, by the way, at the Hard Rock scene.
Thank you.
The biggest laugh. But how do you normally deal with controversy, or people getting in your face? Are you kind of one of those that will walk around the block not to get into a fight, or will you take on people?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't always like that, but I've sort of learned to try to be like that as much as I can. You just have to sort of remember, particularly in my situation, is that it's almost never worth it. There'll always be some knucklehead somewhere. I mean, I just see them so often, and anytime you get in a fight with somebody, it's just there's always bad consequences for it later. And you always end up regretting it later. And so I've learned painfully sort of to try to exercise some patience and to try to take myself out of those kinds of situations. I'm not perfect at it, but I try, and because you never feel better about it, later on, and then it turns out being some. They'll call the police, or you get sued, or nothing good ever comes of it.
Some of All Fears runs on cable about once every hour. I don't know what their deal is with the cable people on my satellite, but it runs all the time, and I find myself watching it a lot. And I've watched your other movies. Have you figured out really what a Ben Affleck movie is? Because I can't say that I know at this point.
No, and I think that's kind of the good thing, that I try to continue to make different movies and keep myself interested, and hopefully audiences, will feel like they're getting something new or something different when they come seeing it, rather than just getting a kind of retread of the same thing they saw before. But I don't know what it is about Some of Our Fears. It does run a lot. Maybe it has to do with the terrorism theme is such a current theme in America today, and something that is really on people's mind, is maybe why they keep running it.
We're in a time where there's so much, we're in a political year, number one. We've had a movie called The Passion, which I think crosses $300 million today. So there have been a lot of people talking about a lot of different things. Some actors get in trouble when they go out there and they talk about politics or talk about religion. What's your philosophy on all that controversial subject matter?
I mean, for one thing, I have to say, I saw The Passion. I thought it was great, to tell you the truth. I mean, I thought it was a pretty extraordinary movie. I mean, and I think it's great that Mel Gibson went out and made a movie about his faith. I mean, I think people should make movies about the things that are really important to them, and I think they'll make better movies, In terms of, I sometimes get a little uncomfortable with actors listening to them talk about politics which is why I try to temper it, and not make every time I'm sitting out there a stump speech. But I think, because I think a lot of times folks may be interested in people's acting, but that doesn't necessarily mean, I got a guy who's a great contractor and a good carpenter, but he doesn't really know how to tell me how to fix my car. You know what I mean? People go to people that they want to hear something from, to hear who are experts in that area. But that being said, I think everybody should be involved with politics and the world around them, and I think that's important. So I think you just have to strike a balance with that.
Yeah, and I guess finally, it's also, you are trying to sell tickets to Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and Greenpeace.
You got that right, and all of them. Come on down. I like them all.
But anyway, Jersey Girls is a lot. It's a really interesting movie. I liked it. I mean, it took me through a lot of ranges of places I didn't want to go to, frankly, thinking about losing a wife and that type of stuff. But it does make you think, and I think I'm a father of 2 daughters and 3 granddaughters, so it obviously hit me in a good place too. Made me kind of want to not work today and go hang out with my granddaughter for a while. So if it has that effect, I think it does a good thing.
I think so too. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, take care.